Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy week. Here we are. I just wanted to do the typical Monday thing where we just do a check-in, a weekly forecast for the upcoming week. So we can just get any intuitive insights, get any information that you guys will need for this upcoming week, see any energies that we need to be aware of, or just energies in general that we'll be needing to anticipate, because I don't know about you guys, but I have to like read my cards every day. Otherwise, I feel like I'm out of control. So I want to do the same for you guys in the event that you need some clarification, some insight, really just anything that you guys, any messages that may come up from spirit and from the guides, from the cards as well, that we need to hear. Any messages? I just heard new hope. Restored faith. Beautiful. Let's see what else. I'm using the Muse Tarot today. It's so funny. I contemplated on getting this tarot for the longest time. Just the back alone is so gorgeous, but the imagery is just even more beautiful. It's just so unique and so cool. But I was like really contemplating for the longest time, like, do I really want these cards? Do I really want these cards? And then I finally bought them. And it took me like maybe like 10 minutes. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm in love with these cards. These are like my favorite cards. They're just like, they've got a good energy about them. So let's see. Ooh, okay. Progress. Letting down your guard. Delay in abundance. Okay. 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 So I'm getting a lot of feminine energy from this reading, but it doesn't have to be. You can be a male just tapped into your feminine energy at this time. But what I am seeing here, let me just show you the cards real quick. So we've got the Queen of Voices, which is the Queen of Swords. She is kind of like, and it came up in the upright, so that's a good sign. But she's very independent. She's very much like about the mentality aspect of things. So air sign energy, we're talking Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and she's very much like kind of cut and dry, more in the mental side of things, and very independent as well. Very smart, very prestigious, kind of dresses really well, that type of thing. Okay. And then we have the Queen of Emotions. Now, she is the queen that's like tapped into her emotional state. She's very nurturing. She's very loving. She's very creative. She's all about like beauty and just being tapped into that. So it's interesting though, because it came in the reverse. Okay. So when that happens, that typically means that we might be struggling with a little bit of insecurity, a little bit of codependency, a little bit of like doubt within ourselves. So it's interesting that these two cards came up, because these are like almost like polar opposites in my opinion in a way. Okay. So I think this week we're going to be having a little bit of an internal conflict here, and I see that with the Six of Cups in reverse. So like that inner child that needs to be healed here, and you can really see that. The Six of Cups is usually about like, you know, remembering the past, nostalgia, you know, happy memories, you know, being in touch with our inner child, that type of thing. In the reverse, it talks about like some inner child healing, in my opinion, that needs to be done. And this card depicts that so beautifully. See how she's holding this tank of like her inner self, her inner child. This actually made me cry. I think it was yesterday, because I just thought of my inner child and I just wanted to give her a big hug, kind of like she's doing here. And so in the reverse, I think because there might be a lack of inner child healing, it's causing us to have this like back and forth conflict with ourselves, because I think there's a side of you that wants to be independent, like the most independent, right? And then there's this other side that wants to remain in this codependent stage, which you might have been in the past. So we're kind of clinging on to the past in a way that's like very unhealthy for us, but we're like battling. We're kind of like that. I don't know if you guys have seen, there's like this card that I see a lot with the wisdom tarot oracle, deck that says in between worlds. So right now it reminds me like we're in between worlds, right? Like this is the past, this is where we want to be, and we're kind of like having that conflict due to a lack of inner child resolution or inner child work that might just need to be healed, that we might be somewhat avoiding. I don't think it's a conscious, gosh, I always say that wrong, conscious decision though. And the reason that I say that is because of the Knight of Voices in reverse. I think this is like suppressed emotionally. I don't think that's what this card typically means, but that's just what I'm taking this as. Oh, sorry, this is the Knight of Swords reverse. So there might be a lack of going to bed. But in this instance, I'm actually just reading it more so as like a repressing of the subconscious. And you can see that here, like in the upright, see how she's like in a dream state, and there's like that interconnectedness with oneself, like how she's sleeping. In the reverse, I feel like there's just a lack of being connected to the subconscious, which oftentimes we do in our sleep, right? We have that revival in our sleep. So very interesting there. So make sure you're getting your sleep if you are having trouble with that, because I think it is, without it, obviously we can't tap as much into our subconscious and get in that alignment. But all in all, the week looks pretty good. There's a lot of hard work, a lot of diligence, a lot of patience, a lot of planting of seeds, if you will. The Seven of Pentacles. I love these cards, you guys. I feel like even like the harder messages are delivered just so beautifully in these cards, because they really just show like, I don't know, they remind me like of a timeless element, and they're just so creative and so out of the box, and I just love that. But she's planting the seeds. As you can see, they're growing. They might not just be fully showing yet, and that can be frustrating for all of us when we're like, I want to see the result, I want to see what's going to come of this. But we just sometimes need to remain in that patient state, which I see that you're doing here. It's in the upright. That's beautiful energy. So keep planting those seeds, keep working hard. So the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, I think this just talks about our legacy not being fully into fruition yet. And we see that here with, the Seven of Materials. Sorry, they call it the materials in this, but essentially it's pentacles. And, you're making your way towards that, okay? It's not like this isn't going to happen. It's just, obviously, this is something as a legacy that is going to take time. And therefore, that's why we have the Seven of Materials stating that you're in progress with that. You're en route to this ultimately, right? See how she's on the road for that. That's all it's saying, really. And then Seven of Voices, Lovers reversed, Four of Emotions reversed. Okay, again, I feel like there's just a little bit of a lack of, this is kind of like just reminding me again, these cards, I mean, come on, sorry. Again, this is kind of just reminding me of a lack of not being in communion with our past self and our inner child healing that really needs to take place so that we can move forward appropriately. That's awesome. Okay, can you give me just 1 second? Thank you. Can you go ahead and go out and close the door, and I'll be right out? I'm sorry. I know. Almost done. Thank you. Can you close my door? So, you're reaching a point where there's an awareness there. And look at this card, you guys. This is like totally like the conscious, gosh, okay. And the conscious, like being intertwined and like loving each other and just really kind of like being tapped in. There's a lot of different interpretations that can come from this card, but in this instance, that's really what I'm like picking up on, okay? Now, again, with the Four of Cups reversed, there's a little bit of stagnation. There's a little bit of not wanting to face some deeper emotions, especially like childhood wounds or any family wounds, familial wounds that we need to heal. But I think you guys are going to do that. I think that you might just be taking it one step at a time. And that might also be what's indicated with the Seven of Pentacles or the Seven of Materials, that you're in progress of doing that. But sometimes we just have to take baby steps, right? Like we can't overdo it on ourselves, especially when we have other things going on. It can be really hard to face those things just in general. And then with every other stress in life, that's just like the last thing that we sometimes need, okay? you guys did get the Seven of Swords, or the Seven of Voices in the upright. So just make sure that you're being clear with your communication and you're not feeling like you have to be sneaky on any regard or feel like you have to go behind people's backs. Like, just remain true to yourself, remain honest with yourself and the people around you. Like, I can also see that as a deception of emotion with yourself and with others, like saying like, oh, I'm fine, or telling yourself you're fine when like in reality you're not, so stuff like that you can basically improve on with just that full honesty. Oops, sorry. For some reason I thought the microphone fell. I didn't see it there, so you guys are going to hear my finger brush against it really loudly there. I apologize. Hope everyone's doing well. Let me know if you have any questions or any concerns or anything happening that you need advice on. Okay. I just heard entertaining serenity. I love that. Oh my gosh, yes. Entertaining serenity. Sorry, I'm still like, I just barely got all my spiritual gifts, so like, and I don't practice them enough, so sometimes it takes me a minute to even like hear anything or see anything. But I'm going to continue working on that. Obviously, like, my channel is going to go into several different directions anyway, but I did want to give you guys something and to make myself feel like I'm like working towards something too. I don't really like to just be stagnant, even if I'm not like exactly where I want to be with my growth or with, what I want to do as far as the channel is concerned, but I want to keep going despite all that, because I don't like to be stagnant and I don't like to not work towards my goals, even if I'm like heading in different directions with them, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now. But I did want to give you guys a message for the week because, like I said, I myself like to have the feeling of like knowing what's going to happen. I have a really big issue with that. I think it just stems from my childhood and having so many like unexpected like traumas, control's kind of a big thing for me. Not control, but like the feeling of like knowing what's going to happen, essentially. So I guess you could say that's control. I don't know. Whatever. You guys know what I mean. Okay. So good. Okay, so we have the Hermit reversed. Now, I love the Hermit card. Don't get me wrong. I really, really love it. It's a very introspective card. It's a very like meditative card. It's a very enlightening card. But I'm feeling like you guys are actually, so it's in the reverse to me, that's like getting out, socializing more, being more present, being more communicative, just being more like in touch with your socializing aspect of things. But I feel like that's a really good thing for you guys because, I mean, obviously with the pandemic, obviously with everything that's happened, we've had a lot of time to process things, a lot of times to be alone. So sometimes that can be a good thing, right? To kind of branch out and to get out of our shell a little bit. Sorry. Sometimes I just like can't communicate. It's because I've had a blocked throat chakra for almost my whole life, which is kind of sad to admit, but it's true. And so I'm still kind of breaking out of that phase, you could say. Okay, so we do have the Ace of Voices or the Ace of Spades or Ace of Swords, sorry, reverse, as well as the Six of Materials, which is like the Six of Diamonds or Six of Pentacles. So here, we might be feeling a little bit unsupported. But I think there's just a lack of recognizing the support where it's at, if that makes sense. So if you guys are feeling a little bit unsupported financially or otherwise, please know that you are supported, especially on a spiritual realm. See that owl with that like wisdom and that intuitive guidance. But sometimes it's harder to see, like, for instance, especially with these being in the reverse, but just this card in general, what I'm picking up intuitively, okay? See how her head's like turned from the owl? It's like she's not listening or she's not facing the guidance that's there for her. Does that make sense? So there's a lack of seeing what's there because of not being in tune with ourselves. So please meditate. Please be with your, I know that we did have the Hermit reverse, so there might not be a lot of time for you to meditate this week, but please, give yourself the chance to tap into your intuition at the very least, however that might be for you, whether that's going outside, that type of thing. Make sure that you're giving yourself that space and holding space for your at least like communicate with spirit and be in touch with your higher self and with the higher realms, because you do have a lot of support there, I'm seeing. Okay. Hi. Can you give me just one more minute? Hi. Can you give me one more minute? One more minute. Okay, go get sister. Thank you. Can you close it? Thank you. Sorry, guys. Our TV, like, not only now do we have no channels, like, it's not working. I get all creepy towards the camera because it's just funny to me. That's all. Okay, so we've got some really good cards here. So Four of Voices in the reverse. So this is the Four of Swords reverse. Now upright, this is generally like in a relaxed state, in a meditative state. Again, this is in the reverse. So there might be a little bit more busyness going on in your week this week, because we did have the Four of Swords reverse as well as the Hermit reverse. So meaning that we have a lot going on this week, which is never necessarily a bad thing. Not necessarily a bad thing is what I meant. Because we did have, you guys, the end of your reading is super, super juicy and amazing, because we have the Emperor in the upright, we have the Magician in the upright, and lastly we have and I love, love, love. Okay, so all of the like king cards in this deck, king cards, sorry, I didn't mean to like kind of halfway flip y'all off there, but we have they call it the Muse, right? Which I just love that, and it's like on the card sideways, which is just, I love I just love when things are a little bit different. So it says the Muse of, so this is essentially the King of Hearts and the upright, or the King of Cups, sorry. And then we have the Emperor and the Magician. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. You guys are going to be really, really emotionally sound. And I see that here with these two cards. Okay. King of Cups is like the mastery of emotions, the mastery of being able to discern what's like worth your emotional investment and what's not, and kind of seeing things, especially the Emperor. The Emperor is very much about seeing things from a logical perspective, but not so much that you're like not in tune with your heart, because the King of Cups is very much in tune with his heart. It's just more about being discerning about what's significant, like being emotionally mature, basically, is what that is, but also being very, very much full of love and joy and happiness. So a lot of fulfillment, a lot of practice with your craft. And this is a very masculine card. So if you are masculine, you're going to be in your boss man or women, boss women energy, boss man energy. You guys, this is one of my favorite cards of the deck. I have like 4 favorite cards. This is one of them, the Magician, and not just like of every deck, not just this deck, but this deck is like so beautiful. Look at that. So much creativity. I mean, that's what I just see with this card. So much manifesting. So if you're a big manifester, keep doing that, because it's really, really tapped in right now for you. Like tapped in is what I'm getting. Higher source of like power right now, type of tapped in, like intense. Okay, so that's exciting. Lots of good stuff happening for you guys this week. A lot of emotional like soundness. Let's just see if there's anything else that wants to come out of the tarot deck before we move on to the Black Moon astrology cards. Hope you guys love these cards as much as I do, because oh my god, I'm obsessed. Oof. Honey. Okay. Chills. I just got the chills. All right. So Muse of Inspiration. So this is like King of Wands energy. This is one of my favorite cards in this particular deck. And he's one of my favorite court cards, but I love that this is kind of depicted here as a feminine energy, but don't have to be. So you're really just like in your outgoing, inspiring, fiery, like tapped in power. I love it. 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 And a lot of energy, a lot of what's the word? Charm, spunk, and presence. Okay. Two of Inspiration. Yeah, you're really thinking outside the box. You're really focusing on your goals. You're really like in tune with what's right for you specifically. And like it really just kind of narrowed in on your goals and what you want for yourself, which is, I mean, is there anything better? And then we also had the death card. Yeah. Washing away of the old to make way for the new and transpiring your development into a higher manifestation of yourself. So yeah, this is really, really good energy. Like breaking free of the old, and you're like so ready to do that. It's time. It's time. This is like diminishing all the bad habits that we might have, all of the negative attachments we might have, all of the old cycles and patterns in our head, or, the habits we might have. I'm surprised we didn't get the devil in reverse. That's usually another indication of stuff like that. But a lot of new changes coming in, like expected or unexpected. But I feel like a lot of it is through your own choices and your own growth, which we saw there in the final cards, with the King of Inspiration, King of Wands, Emperor energy. There definitely might be some males watching. This is a lot of male energy, or you could just be more tapped into your masculine energy as a feminine right now. But either way, good energy right now, good vibes. Loving that. Lots of power. So, and lots of good mental clarity. First house, the body. Ooh, this is so pretty, you guys. I love these cards. Okay, so we have a 25, which breaks down to a 7. So I'm picking up, the body, mind, soul on this one. Very ethereal energy. Make sure to stay grounded within your body. Make sure that you're treating your body kindly. Take care of it. Stay healthy. All that kind of stuff, all that good stuff. So I wanted to share something too with you that I just thought of for some reason. This is like super random, but I discovered this over the week because my daughter was asking me about like her owie and how that works. Like, she's like, is it going to fix itself? We were talking about how like your cells kind of like repair themselves, and how it's like a faster process overnight. So I just kind of wanted to like confirm that and look it up. And I found more information about when we sleep. What happens is, the reason that sleep is so crucial is for the first 4 hours. So they have it like identified as like the first kind of like, so as far as like the time increment goes, I don't know if this time necessarily has to be exact, but like for instance, for the first 4 hours of your sleep, so from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., your body is restoring itself physically, so like on a physical level, and then from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., if that's your schedule. I don't know if it has to be on schedule. I'm guessing probably not, but probably the closer it is, probably the better. But I don't know about that. To be honest, I really don't. But anyway, essentially the first 4 hours is healing your body, and then the second 4 hours is healing your mind, like your psyche, your psychological aspects of things. So I just thought that was so cool. And like dreams are just such a trip. The whole thing, I'm like, that's just so beautiful. So I wonder if like, do we even have dreams for the first 4 hours, or is that just all like body restoration and then we have dreams because it's like the psychological restoration? I don't know, but I just thought that was really cool information. Okay. You guys, this is cool. Oh my God. I love these cards. Oh, they're so good. So much good energy. Okay. So the only thing that you guys need to work on this week is having a little bit more faith and trust in the divine, because we have the number 33 here, which is the ninth house. The ninth house is all about spirituality. It's all about like the beyond the realm of what we can see. It's like big Sagittarius energy. Okay. So when it's in the reverse, so the occults, you could say, that's kind of eighth house energy too, but this is all like hidden knowledge and wisdom and spirituality and that type of thing. So with it being in the reverse, there might be a lack of faith. So make sure that you, kind of like we were talking about earlier, just make sure that you're in communion with God and with your angels, and you're really just, embracing them and recognizing that they're there for you and that they want to be there for you. So, and I know I feel like I repeat that in every video, but that always comes through. It's a very strong message and they really do mean that. So, and that's really honestly one of the only things that you guys need to work on, because all of these other cards were in the upright. So again, we have more ninth house energy. This talks about Uranus, genius. Okay. Let me show you the other couple here. 8, Chiron, healing. And we have Venus, 4th house, love. So there's a lot of stability surrounding the love within your heart that you have to give for others, as well as like your family life, your love life. With the 4th house, that's all about like your home body energy. So a lot of stability there, a lot of love there. Lots of like healing energy with this blue coming in on this card, as well as like with this Chiron healing card. So a lot of healing of like maybe familial issues or just yourself in general, that inner child healing that we talked about. Okay. And I'm really picking up that a lot of this healing is taking place when you're asleep as well. Like your angels are really, really working hard to mend your psyche and mend the things that you've been through. And if you have been feeling ill, because we did get the body card, I'm also getting that that is something that will be on the uprise with healing as well. And the 8th house is all about, that Scorpio energy, death and rebirth, sex, all these good things. Okay, so just kidding. But it's a cool card. It's a cool house because there's a lot of transformation. It's also about transformation. I have a lot of planets in the 8th house. Well, 3. I think I have 3 planets in the 8th house, which is a significant amount. But anyway, so that's all about like transformative energy. And then we have the Uranus, again, the 9th house energy, big Sagittarius energy. So again, that just all 3 of these were in the upright, which I just feel like is so beautiful. So a lot of good changes coming near you guys, a lot of like mending of things. If there's been any concerns with your health, with your family life, with your relationships, with just like creativity, creative ideas, because we did get that genius card. That's going to be on the mend. But the one thing that Spirit and the angels are asking of you to, receive these blessings is just to keep your faith and to keep your communion with them, as they want to be there for you as much as possible. And the easiest way for them to be there for you as much as possible is to keep that relationship going and keep it strong and trust. Okay. Trust. Absolutely. Okay. Last card, and then we will wrap this up. Somehow I always just manage to have these videos go and go and go. I'm like, how do I get these so long? I'm like, not even giving you guys that much information. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Okay. I have in reverse communication. Okay. Beautiful. So last 2 cards. So your communication is going to be really, really good this week. We've got the air card of communication. So again, we got some more air sign energy. That's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. This breaks down to 11. So a lot of like master number intuitive energy, or a 2, which is same type of energy, a lot of collaborative energy as well. So that's good. Your communication is going to be improving, which is going to be affecting your relationships at home, whether that be with family or your lover, or all of the above. That's going to be improving because you are in very good communication. You have a lot of good communication skills. I'm also picking up this is from the angels as well. Okay, so again, communicating with the angels, communicating with yourself, your higher self, just tapping into prayer, that type of thing will be really beneficial. Last advice. So we did have the Taurus card in reverse, which is the I have card. Taurus is all about that, abundance. They're all about that material life, the sensual life, the senses, right? So with this being in the reverse, this is just reminding you to, take note of the things that you do have, be grateful, write down a gratitude list, write down the things that you're grateful for, and write down things as if. Okay, so write down your intentions. Very powerful stuff that kind of really ties in well with the magician card that we got earlier. So that is what I have for you guys. Kind of a shorter reading today, so thank you for bearing with me and always, tuning in. If you like this content, don't forget to like and share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that, yada, yada, yada. I hate to put that in there, but that's just part of the way that this channel works. So thank you for being here. Thank you for viewing this. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I'll probably be creating some new content here soon. This is, again, just kind of like a general overview. give you guys something to kind of like reside with and something that you can, think about for the remainder of the week until we communicate again. So I love you guys. Take care, and we'll talk soon, probably within the next few days or so. All right. Maybe sooner, just depending. Okay. So I love you guys. Bye.